Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Tonight, I want to introduce an effort that would involve you guys, all of us, towards a common cause. You know, I produced a post not too long ago. I called it the I think it was the most foolish man in town, the most foolish person in town, something like that, the most foolish person in town. And I identified myself as being that foolish person. And I said that because there's so many things that I attempt to consider, and sometimes ended up choosing to do them for an outcome that I know is not going to happen. And yet I give it an opportunity to trick me, to fool me, to make a believer out of me. And one of the things I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is for the people of this country, and I hope it won't be that difficult. And yet and still, I'm expecting it to be very, very difficult. You see, I want to recognize some things that's happening. We have something in America called the political process that involves basically two political parties. There might be some others, but not well known. The Republican Party and the Democratic Party. Republicans see things one way, the Democrats see them another way. Now, Republicans are humans, Democrats are human. And when they're looking at certain things, and it usually, for the most part, the same things, Republicans see it one way and Democrats see it another. And they really can't bring it together. On the other hand, there are conservatives. Conservatives see things one way, and liberals see them another. And they do not jive, and you cannot bring them together. And each one represent human beings. Then there's another group. Some are black and some are white. And they see things different. And they are looking at the same concerns and see them different. That's not all. We have males and females. Human beings looking at the same thing, and they see them different, and they can't come together. Then you have the straight and your LGBTs. Human beings looking at the same thing and see them different, and you can't bring them together. So I'm looking at this picture, and I'm thinking it might be kind of good if I endeavor to see if I could create a situation where we can see if we can come more righteous, more compassionate, more empathetic toward one another. See if we could change. I guess what I thought about earlier, I looked at it and seen it as creating righteousness amongst these group of people. Creating righteousness against human beings who require the same things for survival and most of the things in life, who are recipients of a gift from a father, or whatever we want to call it, a power that gave us the earth and everything that exists that we didn't have anything to do with, gave it to us freely, even though it doesn't appear to be free to us. And gave us some of the same requirements to be alive and happy, and gave each of us a role to play in the process of causing these things to happen, creating these things, causing a manifestation, doing our part. And our part that we've been given gives us our greatest joy. It is divine, what I'm explaining to you, ladies and gentlemen. It is absolutely divine. You see, the truth of the matter is Republicans don't know what they're talking about, and Democrats don't know what they're talking about as far as how to fix the problem. They know what they're talking about when they're talking about those things that they're dealing with every day, no doubt. And they, for some strange reason, feel that they can fix it the way they look at fixing it. But it doesn't do a thing for the Democrats. And the Democrats see that they could fix what they're looking at. Doesn't do anything for Republicans. Why? Because you're thinking that you got the answer. You don't have the answer. The answer is it must work for both of you. It must work for both of you. And if it doesn't work for both of you, and neither one of you can do it, then both of you are wrong. Both of you, neither of you know what you're doing. That's in every way of life, whether it has to do with food, whether it has to do with clothing, whether it has to do with education, whether it has to do with health care, whether it has to do with housing, whether it has to do with careers, whether it has to do with anything. If it does not bring an okay, a check from the people, then it cannot be done. You have to fix it out. You cannot create something that works and cause pain and agitation against somebody else. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. You must do the right thing. And that not, what did I just say? Democrats, you concur with that? Have you ever done anything like that? What about you, Republicans? Have you considered the people, all of them, not just those who think like you, but all of them? What about you, conservatives and liberals? What about you? Have you considered it? And if so, what have you done about it? Blacks, white, have you considered these things? Working for everybody. Have you? How did it come out? Males and females. What about you? Both of you got your ideas. Does it work for anybody? Have you even considered it working for everybody? Or you just been selfish thinking about your way? Well, I come before you to tell you that you're good people, and your way might work for you, but it's not just about you. It's about all of us. It's about us. It's about we using resources that does not belong to us but were given to us as gifts, and require that we be smart enough to use them to the best that they could be used for. Not just haphazard stuff, lying and cheating. I was thinking about the things that I'm talking to you about. I'm thinking about the people who have accepted the fact that you use money to do things, and how important money is to them, and how many of them reaping in all kinds of money. Basically can do anything they want to do. They mad and angry, feel powerful because people falling up behind them trying to get the crumbs that they drop. Thinking and pretending that they accepting that they are somebody. Ain't nobody. And the people who walk around with the money, same place, just as lost as everybody else. Trying to have some fun, trying to have a life, and nothing is wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with it except it is not the solution. And they don't have an answer except more of the same. Whoever it hurts, okay. I come to tell you, my friends, it must come together. And you cannot be so selfish and so bigot and so hated and hateful that you will prevent it from coming together. Because the end of the day, if it does not come together, right now, there are people being bombed, trying to go to bed, go to school, but bombs are falling, splitting up their towns, tearing down their buildings, their stores, their schools, their hospitals by demonic people who are trying to take, manipulate, be powerful, evil, kill. This is what's happening all over the world, my friends. And you think just because this hadn't happened to some people that it won't? The only reason it won't, ladies and gentlemen, is because you fix it. You have to take the vaccine to fight against the virus. The vaccine in this regard is you got to change your ways. You got to start acting different. You got to start being different. You haven't cared, now you got to start caring, because your survival will be dependent upon whether you care or not. I wanted to take a little bit of time, ladies and gentlemen, and just share that with you. I decided not to sing karaoke tonight. I decided to make a choice. What was more important, me to go and sing a song, and I would do it good, and people be glad I came out, or to take a chance that I'll sit here and do what I'm doing for you, knowing that maybe only one or two of you will even click on it to see what it's all about. Why do I say that? Because people who are not alive can't pretend to be. See, I'm alive, and I want you to wake up. You can't pretend to be. You got to wake up.